Flow Energy Solutions proudly presents Ricky the Rack meets Harvey HVAC in Sharing is Caring. Chapter 1. A Tale of Two Systems. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of two very hard-working pieces of equipment, all alone on a grocery store roof. Ricky, the refrigeration rack, and Harvey, the HVAC MPU. Ricky was very good at his job of cooling the food and rejecting the heat. His motto was, cool the food, reject the heat, cool the food, reject the heat. And he would say it over and over and over all day long. Harvey HVAC, on the other hand, did many things well, but was often just a little too cold for everyone's liking. Heat was so hard to come by. It was either expensive or caused too much Scope 1 and 2 GWP emissions. On a particularly cool fall day, Ricky the Rack noticed that Harvey HVAC was struggling with his mental health. So he offered to send some of the heat he was rejecting. He said, "Hey Harv, have some hot refrigerant from my medium temp compressors I don't need. You can de-superheat it if you want. It doesn't cost me anything to give it to you. But I must warn you, if you overly subcool my refrigerant, you will make me sick." Harvey HVAC promised not to subcool Ricky the Rack's refrigerant at all, and they became great friends that fall. The more the friends paid attention to each other, the more they learned about each other. For example, Harvey HVAC noticed that on very warm days, Ricky the Rack had to hold his breath sometimes to reject his heat. He did this to increase the pressure in his head. And whenever Ricky did hold his breath, Harvey discovered that he was able to absorb even more heat from Ricky. Harvey said, "This is really great heat. It's winter now, and you never have to hold your breath, Ricky. But do you think you could hold your breath and increase the pressure in your head just a little on the really cold days?" Of course, Ricky was pleased to oblige his friend, since he was really good at holding his breath, and it didn't take much effort to give Harvey what he wanted. It was a great winter, but winter gives way to spring, and spring to summer. Ricky the Rack had to hold his breath more often and for much longer to reject his heat. Worse than that, Harvey HVAC was getting so much of the heat that he cried out, "Too much! Too much! I can't take all of your heat, Ricky. When I'm dehumidifying, I can use some of your heat, but not so much and not all the time." Harvey HVAC tried to use hand signals to tell Ricky when and how much hot refrigerant to send, but with all the different signal protocols and proprietary interfaces, it became apparent that Harvey needed to protect himself from Ricky the Rack's heat. Harvey HVAC was happy when he got his own modulating reclaim control. Ricky the Rack could focus on doing his job, and Harvey HVAC didn't need to distract his friend with signals that didn't really matter to him. Ricky the Rack was such a good friend to Harvey HVAC. He gave his heat without asking anything in return. But at times, Ricky suffered as well. In hot, humid climates, where high wet bulb diminishes the subcooling potential of adiabatic gas cooling, Ricky the Rack struggled to have the capacity to cool the food and reject the heat. Feeling a little guilty for never giving back to the rack, Harvey HVAC mused, "I know you warned me that if I subcooled your refrigerant, it would make you sick. But what if I was really careful and subcooled your refrigerant just to the right temperature? You don't know this about me, but I have the unique ability to control my cooling very precisely, and I promise never to send back your refrigerant below your minimum drop leg temperature." Ricky the Rack almost went super critical with joy. The two hard-working pieces of equipment, all alone on that grocery roof, had found new purpose in helping each other. And it is rumored that they have been heard to say, "It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done." The end. We hope that you have enjoyed this first edition HVACR children's classic, Ricky the Rack Heats Harvey HVAC in Sharing is Caring. Look for this book at Amazon or wherever great books are sold.